to the 48th Annual Randolph Jazz Concert. I am Mr. Tom Davidson, Director of the RMS Jazz Ensemble. Very happy to be here this evening. Thank you all for coming out. And our first tune was Jive at 5 by the great Count Basie. We had a few featured soloists on alto saxophone. We had Aidan Danner and Ava Finnemore with a fantastic. Followed by our guest artist for the evening. I'm very pleased to introduce Mr. Ron Kerber, professional saxophonist based out of Philadelphia. So we got a chance to meet Mr. Kerber a little before the concert. The high school ensembles got a chance to rehearse with him previously a few months ago. And I asked the band, I'm like, do you want him to play with you or just come out for his solos and lead? I'm like, no, I want him to play. And it's been really cool warming up with him. And man, he sounds fantastic. You're going to get a chance to hear from him several times throughout the evening. One more time, specifically featured with our ensemble later. We also had featured Mr. Ahmed Bassam on trumpet. And Trip Testament on drum set. Our next tune is a standard by the Glenn Miller Orchestra, String of Pearls. I would guess that many of you would be familiar with the tune. I always tell the students, and I remember playing this tune when I was in high school jazz ensemble and being told this, that back in the day it was not Taylor Swift that you heard on the radio. It was the Glenn Miller Orchestra. When you turn on the radio, jazz music was the pop music of the time, and this is one of the tunes that would have been really prevalently played at that time. So this one is one of my personal favorites. The kids, they like Curacao Blue the best, but this one's one of my favorites, so that's why we're doing it, for me. So this is String of Pearls by Jerry Gregg, arranged by Mike Lewis, and yeah, without further ado, a String of Pearls. to mention some of the solo interludes in there. Again, once again, our alto saxophone players, Aiden Danner, Ava Finnemore. And then on tenor saxophone, Mr. Ishan Devanan. You're going to get a chance to hear from Ishan again in the next tune, as well as Mr. Kerber. Again, one note about Ishan and jazz, I got the opportunity to nominate an outstanding jazz musician for the Mayo Performing Arts Center. They do an Outstanding Musician of the Month for different categories, and I nominated Ishan, and he was one of the several students recognized by Mayo Performing Arts Center for Outstanding Jazz Musician. So we got to attend a fabulous concert by the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra, which performed at Mayo Performing Arts. And as a quick side note, aren't we lucky to be so close to such a fabulous performing arts center, which brings in such amazing groups and performances, both in music and dance and just lots of stuff. So he got to go to the Jazz Lincoln Center concert and be recognized up on stage at some point during the concert, which was really cool. So congrats to Ishan on his recognition. Our final tune this evening is an original called Curacao Blue. Again, it's going to feature Mr. Ishan Devanan on tenor saxophone and Mr. Ron Kerber on alto saxophone. Thank you very much. the 2024 Randolph Middle School Jazz Ensemble. Okay, fabulous. You will get a chance to hear from us combined with the other two jazz ensembles later this evening in our big, fantastic combined closer. If we give us a minute for a little bit stage change, our students, we're going to go over, I'm just going to guess, we're going to go over there because I feel like it, because that looks open. So we're going to go in that pod, and Jazz Ensemble 2 is up next. So thank you for your patience as we have the stage change, and thanks again for all of your support.
That was a piece of music called Killer Joe by Benny Golson. And this is the Jazz 2 Ensemble, and it has been a real pleasure to work with these guys this year. This is my first year doing the jazz ensembles. And you know, every night I come to these rehearsals, and I always come pretty exhausted, but these guys have so much energy and such positive, you know, vibes that they bring to the music. I always leave kind of energized, and I get home and I have a little trouble falling asleep because it feels really good to play with these guys every Wednesday night. I'm gonna miss it. So, and I hope I get to see a bunch of you next year. On that piece of music, we heard from Andrea on alto sax and Julia on trumpet. It also means a lot to have, actually, Mr. Kerber was one of my former teachers, and so to have him here tonight means it's really cool to have this kind of full circle thing. It's really awesome. So thank you for coming tonight. Next one is called All Blues, and it's by Miles Davis from the record Kinda Blue, which is really one of the most famous jazz records ever. And it was actually one of the few jazz records that was a huge commercial success. And it's again going to feature our trumpets at the beginning. And we had some soloists too. So please enjoy. We had Cole on guitar on that one. Really showing us some blues. That's really nice, Cole. Beautiful. Beautiful. The next one, this one is a real challenge for us, and I'm really proud of them for the hard work they put into this. This is the one that was made famous by the Duke Ellington Orchestra, and it's called Take the A Train. So we heard from Evan Chapo on that one, and actually Evan was another student that we nominated as Jazz Student of the Month. He's a really dedicated musician and really brings great energy every night to our rehearsals. So thank you so much, Evan. Also heard from Josie on drums. The next piece of music is a piece called Autumn Leaves, and this one has lyrics to it. And one of our members, Gerald Creighton, actually learned the lyrics to it, and he's actually going to sing for us tonight. So it's a real treat. And he's also going to be featured on trombone as well, so a lot for Gerald tonight.
The falling leaves drift by my window, those autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, those summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song, and I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall.
So one of the things that I tried a little bit, I know that of the other bands are working on improvisation and things like this. That's something I really, really try to focus on, is improvising it. I think Gerald, and I definitely feel proud, is that, you know, I didn't write anything out for Gerald. He figured that all out on his own, and it really came from his heart. That was really cool, man. So thank you so much. And the kids beforehand were like saying, hey, those middle schoolers sounded really, really good. Make sure you tell them that we improvise, okay? So I just want to let you know, they are improvising tonight. And we have worked really hard on this. And I can't wait to see next year, the years beyond, where it takes us. And it's okay to get lost in the music sometimes, too. It's okay. You know, like if you have any kind of moments where you're like, wait, where the heck am I? Trust me, I've been there. Okay, we've all been there. So I'm just really proud of you. That's all I want to let you know. The last piece of music. Oh my goodness. Blanking. Doxy. Thanks. Doxy. Written by Sonny Rollins, and we just like to have a lot of fun with this one. Thank you so much. You've been a great audience. Thank you to Mr. Kerber. And thank you to everybody who's helping out, all the custodial staff that sets all this stuff up. My colleagues, Mr. Fantasi, Mr. Davidson, and just everybody that parents and students, everybody that comes in to do this. Thank you so much. This is Doxy. Thank you so much. So much fun playing with you tonight. Next up is Jazz 1, so hang tight just for a quick transition, and then we have a combined piece. So thank you again. Thank you to Mr. Kerber. Thank you, students. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Randolph High School Jazz Ensemble 1. We are very excited to close out our concert with a few tunes here. That first one you just heard was a Sammy Nestico favorite called It's So So Nice. You heard from on trombone, Gregory Ford. So for our next tune, we're going to slow it down a little bit. This is another jazz classic called Round Midnight, which was composed by Thelonious Monk. It's been recorded hundreds of times by some really great musicians too. You may have heard of Dizzy Gillespie or Miles Davis. We have one of our own really good musicians too. Kevin Tish here has been a 4-year member of the jazz ensemble. And if I remember correctly, your freshman year you were in jazz 2 with me when I was in jazz 2. And now here we are 3 years later, and Kevin's a senior. So we're going to feature him on this on muted trumpet. This is Round Midnight. Thank you.